What do you like about me?
Okay. Show me. Okay, peeps, I just wanted to let you know that in today's class, you may need a yoga block, a PVC pipe, or like a mop broom handle stick. Outside if you want, that's cool, that's all natural, okay? And then you might need something like a t-shirt or like a dish towel, hand towel, or like a yoga strap, something that you can use to kind of wrap around just above your wrist. Sound cool? So take like 2 or 3 minutes and scavenge for those treasures, and then we'll get the party started. All right, guys, we're gonna get started in about 1 more minute. We got a lot of shoulder stuff to work through today. It's pretty much exclusively, we'll say exclusively shoulders, even though of course doing the shoulders involves neck, mid back, full body really, but it's gonna be pretty shoulder intense, and you'll feel amazing afterward. All right, peeps, so let's get started. We have a lot of stuff to do, and I'm hoping to get through all of it, okay? So we'll see. It's ambitious. I like it that way. But we have, like I said, awesome shoulder stuff. We're gonna do some stuff we've like at least I've never done with you guys before. So be prepared. I'll try and talk you through some of it. I'm gonna try to talk fast because, like I said, we have a lot to do. But let's get started with some neck cars. We're going to do that from a standing straddle position. So let's go ahead and stand. We'll just get a wide stance here. When we do neck cars, we want to make sure that our shoulder blades are retracted back behind us and slid down and held into place. So I like to hold my hands just kind of interlaced at the fingers together behind me, okay? Just to keep those shoulder blades back and down. Now, when we go through neck cars, the first thing we want to do is tuck that chin to chest, and then we're going to rotate over to the left. We're going to tip that ear over the left shoulder, up into extension, so we're looking at the ceiling. Then tip that right ear over right shoulder, and sweep the chin across the right collarbone, back to sort of where we started. And then we reverse course, right chin, right collarbone, tip right ear over shoulder, head is back, looking up at the ceiling, tipping left ear over left shoulder, chin over left collarbone. That's one full rep. We're gonna go through that entire cycle 2 more times. Rotating to the left, tipping ear over left shoulder, extending all the way back, tipping right ear over right shoulder, sweeping across the right collarbone, and reverse, chin over right collarbone, tip ear over right shoulder, extending fully back, looking at the ceiling, left ear tipped over left shoulder, sweeping across that collarbone, back to neutral, last full rep, rotating over left collarbone, tipping left ear over left shoulder, extending all the way back, right ear over right shoulder, sweeping across the right collarbone, back to center and reverse. Right collarbone, right ear tips over right shoulder, full extension back, left ear tips over left shoulder, sweeping across that collarbone. Love it, guys. Good 3 reps on neck cars there. Next, we're going to go through our standing straddle. We're going to do our thoracic cars. So you have the choice, if you have decent shoulder flexibility, to give yourself that big stacked elbow hug. If that's too hard for you and you're just grabbing at air or you can't get all the way back there, it's uncomfortable, then by all means, you can make sort of the little X in front here, kind of one hand on each collarbone. When we do our thoracic cars, we don't want our head to start flailing all about as we go through the motion. We want to keep that chin tucked in tight as we go through the entirety of the motion. It's not a huge motion, but we don't want that head to kind of throw us off, okay? So let's give ourselves that big hug. We're in sort of the standing straddle position. Make it comfortable. You don't have to do the splits, okay? Tuck that chin to chest. We're gonna flex forward just at that mid back first. We're going to rotate to the left, side bend to the left, extend back, rotate to the right, side bend to the right, flexing forward, coming back to the center. Stay flat forward, rotating to the right, side bending right, extending back, rotating left, side bend left, rotating forward with a flex. That's one full rep. You want to flex, rotate left, side bend left, extending back, rotate right, side bend right, flexing forward, back to center, and reverse, staying flex forward, rotate right, side bend right, extending back, rotating left, side bend left, flexing forward, rotating back to center. One more full rep. Rotating left, side bend left, extending back, rotating right, side bend right, flexing forward and back to center, and rotating right, side bend right, extending back, rotating left, side bend left, flexing forward as we come back to center. Good. Thoracic cars is not easy. That's kind of difficult. So we'll definitely keep practicing that and keep hitting that each time that we do this. Upper body, shoulder, kind of centered stuff, even the spine stuff, okay? So next, we're gonna start to go into the scapular cars, right? This is shoulder blade cars from that standing position, okay? Now, when we do this shoulder blade cars, we don't want the arms entirely at the side, nor do we want them entirely at the front. We want them at sort of that 45-degree angle here, okay? And you want to maintain this arm position here. You don't really want to let them drop. You don't really need to kind of lift them up, okay? So if I do this from the side, it looks like this. And this is where we just want to create those big circles with our shoulder blade. I always visualize like the big wheel on a train, like on an old locomotive, okay? That wheel just sort of shifts around and around, okay? And then we can reverse direction and roll that wheel backward, all right? So we're gonna have our arm sort of not straight out, not all the way forward, but just right, okay? In the 4 motions we're gonna do with this, we're gonna go 3 reps in each direction. We're first going to elevate, retract, slide down or depress, retract and push apart. Elevate, retract, depress, protract. Elevate, retract, depress, protract, right? So let's do that right now. First one, here we go. We're gonna elevate, retract, depress, protract. Elevate, retract, depress, protract. Elevate, retract, depress, protract. Now we're going to reverse it. Keep it in protracted. Let's retract, elevate, protract, depress. Retract, elevate, protract, depress. Retract, elevate, protract, depress. Good. Snaps are a fun one for me. It's not always the easiest for people to do, but I think it's hugely valuable and I love them, okay? So next, we're gonna do wrist cars. And for those of you that have done wrist cars in the past, we may not have done them with something like a yoga block. I know that I have never taught them that way. So we'll use something like this, and we're gonna put this block sort of right above the movable part of the wrist. You don't want it on the actual wrist here and block it. You want to sort of bring it just below that area right there, okay? So when I do this, I'll have the block in this position here, okay? Now, I want to squeeze this very tightly as I move through my wrist ranges of motion. Does that make sense? So we're holding the block in sort of this position here. Our first action with the wrist is going to be extending down, coming in, up, out, and around. If you don't have a yoga block, that's totally fine. All you do, just hold your hands out without squeezing the block. So we'll go both together. Here we go. We extend, we come inward, as big a circle as you can, up and out. Extend, together, up and out. One more. Extend, together, up and out. You can see this is incredibly hard for me, shaking like crazy. Let's go reverse now. Extend, out, up, in. Extend, out, up, in. Got a wrist cramp. Extend, out, up, in. Cool. All right. 3 each direction. Again, not easy. They don't often do the sort of wrist circles, but again, fantastic. I even got a cramp in my forearm. That's kind of pathetic, but funny. All right. So next, this is where we're going to start to go into the meat and potatoes of today's workout. We are going to work a tremendous amount now on shoulder internal and external rotation. Okay. So we are going to be using our yoga block here. This is going to require some instruction from me. And so you guys are going to watch for a little bit while I explain what it is we're going to do. Okay. So I'm going to do this from this position. First of all, you can either do it from the quadruped position, which is what I'm in here now. You can either do it from this wrist extension, palms flat position, or you can sort of make a fist. Really, we're going to be down on elbows for most of this work anyway. The other thing you can do is sit back in sort of this child's pose position, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing unless I get a foot cramp or something. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be on my elbows in this child's pose position. Okay. And what we'll be working on is using this upper arm as sort of a pivot, like so, okay? I'm gonna be moving the arm into internal rotation, the shoulder, and external rotation, okay? Really what we're gonna be focused on here is just the internal rotation component. We are going to be using our yoga block as a tool to assist the blocking and isometrics of this, okay? So if you wanna get into your quadruped or child's pose position, what we're gonna do first, I'll get into my position. I'm gonna take this arm. I'm gonna find my passive or sort of active end range here where I can stretch, move into with internal rotation. Once I have that, I'm going to use this block to block my forearm, and I'm going to use my other arm to block the block. Does that make sense? Okay, it's not the greatest of angles for you guys to see, but you can see where that block is on my arm here, okay? Now, what we're gonna do is when we get into the stretch position, I'm just gonna put a little bit more attention on that to get into a passive internal rotation shoulder stretch here. And we'll hold this together for about a minute. After that minute, I'm gonna ask you guys to start increasing pressure into the block with your down forearm. Does that make sense? So I'm taking this arm, going that direction. I'm gonna start building tension, maybe 15, 20% at first, into 30, 45, we'll work our way up into like 80%. And then we're gonna do a 10-second max effort push where we're shaking like crazy, pushing into that block. When that 10 seconds is up, we will try to take ourselves a little bit further into internal rotation because we'll create some space in that joint with the pushback. We're gonna go through that sequence 3 separate times where we do a 30-second push build with a 15-second max pull inward, okay? So pay attention to the voice cues that I give while I do this. But it's essentially gonna be pushing into the block for a period of time, trying to drive that arm into more internal rotation for a short period of time, and then we're gonna reset the block, push back into the block again, so on and so forth. Like I said, we'll go through 3 sets of that, okay? So let's set up with our right arm down first, okay? Get into that elbow, child's pose, or quadruped position. Let's take that arm and just get into that internal rotation here. Once we have that fairly comfortable stretch, put the block there, block that arm. We're gonna hold this for the next minute or so. Just kind of get some deep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth as we do this. Don't crush this arm with a stretch, just a very gentle initial stretch. We got lots of time to get further into our stretch. If you feel yourself pushing this arm so much that your shoulder starts to come up toward your ear, back off just a little bit. We don't really want that collarbone moving toward your face or up, or that shoulder moving up. We just want that lower half of the arm pivoting inward and out, sort of pushing outward, okay? So we're gonna start in a couple seconds here building that push back into the block. We wanna start at like a 15 to 20% nice level. We're gonna build up to 80, 90% over the next 30 seconds. So we're gonna start that in about 5 seconds, okay? So get into your position. We're gonna start at about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just gently push that lower arm into the block. 15%. Moving into 25%, 30%, 40%, 50%. Elbow stays down on the ground, 65%, 75%. You should be shaking a little bit by now, 80%. In about 5 seconds, we're gonna max out that push. 4, 3, 2, 1. Push as hard as you can against that block for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now slowly try to slide that arm away from the block every little bit that you can. Maximal away for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Without moving from where you are, reset that block, your new position, even if it's only like half an inch further. Okay? Again, we're going to start to slowly build pressure back into the block here. About 3, 2, 1. Start building 15% pressure, 25% pressure, 35% pressure, 45% pressure, 55% pressure, 70% pressure, 80% pressure, and then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Max effort push against the block for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now take that arm, slide it away from the block every little bit you can. 15, 14, max effort. 13, 12, keep pushing. 11, 10, more. 9, 8, 7, should be hard. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reposition your block against your arm at that new spot. Should burn a little bit. You should feel pretty tired here. We're going to start building pressure again in about 3 seconds. 2, 1. Start pushing against that block gently. 15%, 25%, 35%, 45, 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%. And then in 3, 2, 1. Max effort push against the block for 10, 9, harder, 8, harder, 7, 6, 5, harder, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now drive that arm away from the block as much as you can, even if you don't move at all. Intent. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Keep pushing. 2, 1. And reset that block. We're just going to hang out here for about 10 seconds. Woo, my shoulder's burning. Okay, slowly and gently get that block off the arm. Let's kind of sit up, shake it out a little bit. We're immediately going to go into a standing straddle, 90-degree bent elbow, internal shoulder rotation move here. So let's go ahead, kind of stand up. You'll give your legs, knees a break, and we're going to work through some shoulder stuff. Yes, we are going to switch to the left side, but we have work to finish on this right side first. So we're in this standing straddle position, okay? Again, you don't have to be in the splits. You just want to be in a nice, comfortable adductor or inner thigh stretch, okay? The hips a little love too. All right, so you're going to have this arm at this 90-90 position here, okay? Your shoulder blade is going to be kind of squeezed back, and you'll have this one arm right here, okay? So let's have that palm facing forward, drive that arm so the posterior arms, the shoulder muscles are contracted. You're going to hold for 1, 2. We're going to drive that arm internally, squeeze it hard for 1, 2. Back up, rep number 2. Squeeze the shoulder muscles for 1, 2. Driving it back down for rep 2, internal rotation. 1, 2. Back up for rep number 3. We're going to do 5 of these. Squeeze for 1, 3. Back into internal rotation. 1, 3. Back into external rotation. Squeeze for 1, 4. back into internal rotation. 1, 4, back into external rotation. 1, 5. Last one coming down into internal rotation. 1, 5. Good. Let's shake that right arm out. Exact same sequence on the ground for left side. Okay. So we're still going to use our block. We're still going to be either in those child's pose legs or the quadruped legs, whatever you found more comfortable, right? Like I said, it's either this position here while you're working with the shoulder, or it's this position here while working with the shoulders. Either is 100% fine. It just depends on your comfort. Some people don't have the ankle flexibility. Some people don't have the comfort. Quadruped's cool. Okay. So let's work on left arm, whatever your position. Let's assume it now. Okay. We're going to get down to that elbow position here. You kind of see how my upper arm is in line and sort of directly beneath my shoulder. And then all I'm going to do is pivot my arm in here. Okay. So for me, that's sort of my head right there. I block it to the block, cover up the block with my other arm. We're just going to kind of hang out here for a minute or so, let ourselves get comfortable-ish with the internal rotation of the shoulder here, okay? Now we sort of know what to expect as we go through the 3 rounds of the push-pull, internal rotation, external rotation, drive in the shoulder, okay? This creates a lot of awesome joint space in that shoulder capsule for us, right? Internal rotation, we talk about this all the time for the hips and shoulder particularly, is crucial to the health of that joint capsule, okay? It's what most of us are actually missing to some degree. We'll hang out here for another 30, 20 seconds or so. Remember, when we finish this passive stretch, we're gonna start building tension back into the block without motion, right? And we'll start gently with like a 15% pressure and work our way upward from there, okay? All right, so in about 5 seconds here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's begin our gentle push back into the block at about 15%, 25%, 35%, 45%, 55%, 70%, 80%. So in 3, 2, 1, max push now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now try to gently slide away from the block as much as you can for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reestablish your block. Let's hang out here for a second. We're going to do another build. 3, 2, 1. That push back at 15%. 25%. 35%. 45%. 55%. 70%. 3, 2, 1, and hard push. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide away from that block if you can for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Hard. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Drive. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reestablish your block. We got one more set. Shoulder burn. 3, 2, 1. Start gradual pressure in. 15%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%. And then in 3, 2, 1, drive hard. 10, 9, 8, 7, push harder. 6, harder. 5, 4, 3, harder. 2, 1. Drive that hand away from the block much as you can, even if it doesn't move. In 10, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reestablish your block. The last kind of 10-second hangout here. Deep breathing. Awesome. Let's gently slide that block away. We made it through the first gauntlet of shoulder fun / craziness. Okay. So let's get back into our standing straddle and go through our bent elbow, internal, external rotation motion. So again, we find that sort of comfortable standing straddle, just a gentle inner thigh stretch. I like to put my opposite hand just on my collarbone to steady me, make sure I'm not cheating and elevating this arm up, okay? So let's get that arm or elbow bent to 90 degrees. Contract those shoulder muscles in the back of your left shoulder and squeeze for 1, 2. Internally rotate that arm. Press downward hard, squeeze for 1, 2. Externally rotate, squeeze for 1, 2. Internally rotate, squeeze for 1, 2. Externally rotate, squeeze for 1, 3. See my arm shaking. Internally rotate and squeeze for 1, 4. Sorry, 3. Back up, squeeze for 1, 4. I never learned to count. Good. Back down. 1, 4. Carry, keep your elbow bent. Arm back. Squeeze for 1, 5. Back down so the fingers point directly toward the ground. 1, 5. Good. All right, so we completed mission number 1 for the shoulder gauntlet, okay? Next, we're gonna move into some seated position. This is where you're gonna need either like your towel, a t-shirt, something that you can sort of cuff your wrist for, with, or whatever, okay? So I'm gonna use just this little white towel here, and you want something that you can loop like so, that doesn't really have elastic to it. We're gonna use this to do some resisted external rotations of the shoulder off the knee, okay? So switch the camera angle here. Hopefully everybody's feeling a little bit of smoke signal in the shoulder here. Right, so my position when I do this, we're actually gonna start with a right arm. My position when I do this, I'm gonna put the towel sort of just above the movable part of my wrist here, okay? So not on the actual wrist hand. You don't want any bend, you don't want any English with the wrist kind of pulling around. You want to use that forearm to do this motion, okay? The other, I'm gonna sit up so you guys can see me a little bit better. The other thing you'll want to do is just bend that knee a little bit so you can be in this position here. I want that arm to come directly out from my body. And I'm just going to put that towel around, like I said, the upper wrist. Okay, we're going to move into wherever your sort of passive range of flexibility is of internal rotation of the shoulder. So for me, it's right there. So what I'm going to do is wrap that towel right there, and I'm going to put enough pressure on that that it takes me max effort to push into the towel before I actually start a movement. Then when I do the movement, what I'm gonna do is go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I'm gonna have complete passivity coming back down, and we'll go in for rep 2. We're gonna do 5 reps of a 5-second tempo into external rotation, okay? That kind of looks like a maitre d', it's pretty sweet, okay? So, serving up some shoulders, round 1, okay? The good news is for you guys, we're actually gonna do 2 sets of this per side, okay? So what we'll do is we'll do a right arm, left arm, right arm, left arm, okay? So I'm somewhat human, we will have a break in between sets, okay? So let's find your internal rotation passivity, your maitre d' towel or t-shirt or whatever, okay? Let's just gently grab that towel. I want you to start building pressure back into the towel without moving. You should get a little bit of shake going. Once we've established that max pressure into the towel, now we start moving. Just move under a 5-second tempo. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Completely passive down, reestablish, rep number 2, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Completely passive down. Woo! Rep number 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So tension with this one is kind of a choice. You can max your ability to push into this towel, or you can kind of give yourself a break and be like, yeah, cool, whatever, like I crushed myself yesterday. Rep number 4. Here we go. Press into the towel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. I think that's number 4. Last one on this side. Establish. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So you guys are kind of noticing, like, am I doing a lot of extra body English in this? Like, how do I set up on my knee? You know, granted, that's first set, so there's a little bit of a learning curve there. But we really want to establish a nice, solid position where this is just a pivot point, okay? It's like the rotating spit on an outdoor barbecue, okay? You're just moving here. And you don't want to apply so much pressure that you're just compensating to get in and out of that. Allow yourself to succeed by taking just a little bit of tension off if that's what you need. Because remember, the ultimate rule with this is never move into pain, okay? Discomfort and difficulty is one thing, pain, completely another. No pain, okay? This is supposed to be difficult yet fun. Cool? So this is gonna be my super uncoordinated side. This should be kind of funny. So we're gonna set up, same thing, right? You wanna find that sort of passive internal rotation flexibility. You can see me, this is dead weight with my arm holding here, okay? So I'll establish that, wrap that towel around here, okay? I don't want to pull and yank it down further. I just have it, get some tension. I meet the tension of the towel. I'm going to start to shake, and then I'm going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Completely passive, okay? Rep number 2, find your passive, establish pressure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 down, 3 to go, okay? Reestablish. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 down. Reestablish. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 reps down. 1 more to go. Reestablish that passive. Towel pressure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 1 set down on each side. Like I said, I'm a kind and giving renew instructor, so we have a second set. Okay. Reestablish the knee, tuck position, a passive sort of internal rotation arm hang, right? Like you're just hanging out at the beach. It's a nice day, sunny, 56 degrees, typical Chicago beach weather. All right, so passive range of motion. We grab the towel, meet the towel pressure. Make sure you have a nice sturdy pivot on your knee. And let's move to rep number 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Completely passive down. Meet the towel pressure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm sweating bullets over here. Here we go. Rep 3. Meet the pressure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more reps. Reestablish pressure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last rep. Reestablish. Meet the pressure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. 2 sets down on the right side. 1 set left on the left side. All right. Find that passive range of motion. Now, just this set, we're just going to grip it and rip it. I'm kidding. Okay. Total control. All right. Passive towel grip. Meet the towel pressure. And let's move through max effort. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. God, that was already so much better than the first set. All right. Arm hang. Meet the towel pressure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 reps down. Find the passive. Meet the pressure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think the upside with this exercise, it definitely makes your shoulders look jacked in the camera. So it all, Carrie's joining me here live, jacked shoulder city. Okay. 4th rep. Beat that pressure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 down, 1 to go. This last rep, best rep, even with the plane flying overhead right now. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We made it through gauntlet 2. Okay. Now, the next thing we want to do here, this is going to require our PVC pipe, mop handle, broomstick handle. If you're a nature lover, you found a nice straight walking stick or a magic staff, whatever you want. That's cool. Okay. Magically, if you get a magic staff, just wish your shoulders to be better. So let me explain what's going to happen here, because this is going to get weird. Okay. So we're going to use this magic staff here, aka PVC pipe, in a way where we're down on our elbows, and we're going to work external rotation now. So if my hands just sort of come out directly from my shoulders here, that's sort of my neutral position. If I go in this way, this represents some degree of internal rotation of the shoulder. We are going to work the opposite of that. So I'm going to try to get my hands out as far as I can without just the hands sliding on the stick. Hopefully you guys can kind of see that in the camera. And when I establish that, I'm maybe going to cheat out with another finger walk or 2 into external rotation. Okay. Now that I've established this position, it's clear when we do this. Okay. All we're doing right now is just kind of holding this gentle stretch, right? What we do when we actually do our exercise here, we're gonna hold this for a minute. We're gonna drive inward as if my hands are sliding inward, only with no motion. Does that make sense? So I'm pushing hard inward here when I build up over that 30-second build. We'll start at 15% pressure and make our way into something like 80, okay? And then we'll do our max effort inward push for about 10 seconds. And then we're gonna try to drive outward, which right now is I'm not going anywhere, right? But I'm gonna intend to drive outward with max tension for 15 seconds, okay? And again, we're gonna do it much the same way with the other one where we did 3 sets of that, right? So it'll be 3 sets of 30-second build, 10-second max effort, 15-second max effort the other way, or sliding outward with the hands, or driving outward, okay? The work we're doing here is not happening at the hands. It is happening in my shoulder capsules, okay? All the pushing against this PVC pipe, pushing inward, driving outward is working at the capsular level. Can you see the muscles near my capsule moving? That's because that's the intent there, okay? So
Let's hold this for about another 20 seconds or so. And then I'm gonna have you guys start building that inward drive, okay? So now with a firm grip on the stick, pipe, staff, magical, whatever, wand, okay? We're gonna start in about 5 seconds here, trying to crush that stick down without moving the hand. Keep your grip, okay? So in 3, 2, 1, try to drive tension inward, okay? We're at 15% or so. 30%. 40%. Still driving inward. 50%. 60%. 70%. Getting to 80%, and then in 3, 2, 1, maximal push for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to relax your grip and try to drive outward for 15, 14, 13, 12, thumbs outward, 11, 10, outward drive, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Regrip the stick. In about 3 seconds, we're going to start our inward push again, okay? Let's start the inward push in 3, 2, 1. 15% inward push. Your hand should be a little sweaty now, maybe hard to hang onto the PVC pipe. 30% inward push. 40%. 50%. 60%. 70%. 80%. And now drive as hard as you can for 10, 9, hands slide inward, 7, 6, harder, 5, harder, 4, 3, 2, 1. Loosen the grip and wide apart for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, push, 7, 6, push, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Regrip. Hang out there for a couple seconds. My elbow slid a little bit. Last set, best set. I know the outward loose grip is crazy. It's crazy hard. Good. That's how you improve. Okay. Let's start building pressure again. 20%. Just pushing inward. 30%. 40%. 50%. 60%. 70%. 80%. And then in 3, 2, 1. Drive in. 10. Hard. 9. Give it everything you got. 8. 7. Everything. 6. Drive. 5. Harder. 4. 3. Harder. 2. 1. Loosen grip and drive outward. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. Harder. 8. 7. Thumbs out wide. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Regrip your stick and just hang out for about 10 or 15 seconds. Walk your hands a little bit out while your elbows stay stationary. Deep breaths. All right, slowly slide those hands
in and off the pole, stick. Whew. You guys did a good job there. Okay. All right. I think we're going to save what I wanted to do next for another shoulder day. It's going to take us too long. So let's finish with, I want to finish with a bear stance spinal segmentation. Okay. This might be kind of hard after doing all that shoulder stuff. But so you guys are familiar with doing the quadruped cat-cow, right? When we're on our knees here, and you're coming up into this position, starting from your hips, holding down from here. You can certainly do that today. Okay? If that suits your fancy today, do it. But I'm going to add a level up where we go to a bear stance where the knees are slightly elevated off the ground, and we can start to move through that position here. Okay, so it's just a little bit of a more advanced motion there. Take it or leave it. Okay, we're going to go through 3 reps of this cat cow, either through bear stance or your typical quadruped stance. Okay, either's entirely fine. All right, so remember when we do this, we'll start in either this up position here or your cat position here. Okay, I like to start in that sort of rainbow back cat position, so that's how we're going to start. Okay, now when we start in that position, what we'll do is we'll start from the pelvis and move our way up out through the head. Cool. And then when we come up through the head, we'll start our way reverse back. We're going to go through 3 complete waves. You can do 1 from bear, 2 from quadruped, or any combo therein. Okay, so I'm going to come up into bear position. Let's get up into cat. I'm going to start with my pelvis, just moving through the pelvis first, and then through spine and up. Reverse that motion, coming back down, neck, mid back, low back, tuck. I'm going to untuck my pelvis here, shoulder cramp, big shoulders. Untuck the pelvis here, back, mid back, shoulder blades, head. And coming back down, shin tuck, mid back, into pelvic tuck. Folding pelvis, low back. Shin tuck. So the bear is actually pretty hard. Okay. So if you want to do, like I said, 1 bear, a couple, let's move through 3 full spine flows. Tail to head to tail is 1, tail to head to tail is 2, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so 3 full motions of that. Okay. I'm going to do 1 more just from quadruped. Coming up into cat, shifting that pelvis forward. My way up the spine, shoulder blades, head and neck. Reverse that. One final segment at a time. Cool. Love it. All right, let's finish with my favorite little breathing cool down. Let's get your nervous system set right again. Okay. We did some awesome soft shoulder stuff. I would have loved to get to a couple more things, but you know, we crammed what we could in with the time we have together. Okay, so let's go through our breathing. We're going to go through 3 untimed breaths. Now these breaths do have requirements where you breathe in through the nose fully, breathe out through the mouth. I want you to fill up your thoracic cavity or your rib cage, breathing all the way through your back. Expand and move those ribs a little bit because Lord knows they hardly move all day. Okay, so we'll do 3 untimed breaths, and then we'll work through some timed breaths, and then we'll work through a timed inhale with a forceful exhale. Okay, So let's just kind of work through 3 or 4 untimed breaths together. Cool. Next, we're going to go timed breaths. Okay. Let's do a 5-second inhale through the nose, 5-second exhale through the mouth. We'll go through 3 together. I'm probably not going to count. If I could do that, that would be amazing, but I won't. So you're going to kind of listen.